Hello, everyone. Welcome to this segment on the Field Report for Season 2 now. I'm Alex Allen, and here for this episode, we're here with Gabriel, or also known as Al Shenanigans on the Call of Duty team, on the main roster now.
Yes, sir.
Just in the fall segment, you were actually there over on the academy side.
Yeah.
So now you're here on the big boy team.
Level up, yeah.
How does that feel, actually?
It was when I first made the team, I was super hyped. And being on this team, I love it. I'm new to this whole thing, college COD and stuff. I'm glad I got into Team 1 early, so to speak.
Yeah, actually making it onto that side. Yeah, coming from the academy side and now already here. What was it actually like hearing that type of news? And I'm guessing it was Bonk that actually said to you that you were making it on the main team?
He just he hit me up and he was like, "Welcome to main team, brother. Get ready to get your work." And I was like, "Hell yeah, man, I'm ready."
Was there a bit of stress that kind of came in to be like, "Oh gosh"?
No, I didn't. I wasn't stressed at all. I was really hype. I believed in myself that I was going to make the team this season, and that's what happened. I was happy about it.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of actually even showed a lot of true colors back in your academy side, and that was Modern Warfare 2, and now it's Modern Warfare 3, and you're still running more of that sub role.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay with that role. I feel more comfortable with the subs, but being a 3AR game, sometimes you got to make that switch, and I'm just trying to get better at that AR role too. See if I can help out the team that way.
Yeah, especially Modern Warfare 3. It's such an odd type of playing outfield out there on, because so many players have been seen as actually doing more of a flex type of role.
Yeah.
And it's who is actually just doing a consistent AR out there?
Yeah, nobody really. Obviously some people are going to be holding an AR a lot more than others, but I think me and Sus were more so holding the subs. So it's Bonk and Fiend will be holding ARs most of the time, but sometimes we'll switch. And then me and Sus will mainly be holding subs, but sometimes we'll switch. So we're all kind of flexing, but it's just a little different.
How do you feel with the dynamic out there, since you were just bringing up about Sus?
I love working with Sus on the sub, man. He's a really good fragger. He's really good at staying alive, and he's kind of he plays like me. He likes going rogue. We're trying to Bonk is trying to get us to chill out a little bit with that and play a little bit more smart, which is good. It'll help us in the long run. So I love it, man. Running sub with Sus makes it a lot easier, man.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys actually show a lot of true colors and true passion when you're playing out there together.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because it seems like Sus is that more type of a flanking type of guy, especially over on the hardpoint style.
Oh yeah.
And the part is, though, it's been unique watching you and Sus play out there, because both of you guys actually like to flank. It's not just one's kind of doing it, and that can kind of throw things off, because then you don't really have someone holding more time on your point. But how do you guys kind of work that out and make it?
Well, that's exactly, I think that's exactly why Bonk is telling us to chill. Like you said, if we're not completely killing the whole team, someone makes it through, that could be the end of a point hold for us, right? So Bonk's just trying to get us to chill, hold more angles and deal with them as a team, rather than having me or Sus push up too far and either die out and then leave them in a 3v4 or something, or they get through and then still 3v4, because then we don't have any presence in the point. So
yeah, and regardless for even type of game mode as well, it must be a little tough, because these maps are a bit bigger.
Yeah, they are. I honestly, I don't like the fact that COD brought back OG maps in current COD. I don't think that there's a place for it. I mean, sure, it's nostalgic. I'm sure a lot of people were happy that old maps were brought back, but in a competitive play style, I just feel like it's a little too ratty. There's too many angles. It's a lot.
Yeah, And like it is a lot from exactly what you were just saying. And back in like MLG days, thinking about it, like playing on Modern Warfare 2 maps, they were great for like SND and capture the flag. But nowadays, it makes sense like why like you and Sus in those moments are trying to make those big flanks, because you're so used to like smaller maps, and then now it's a bit of like a chase around just to get to like a certain next hard point, especially on hard point, or even just SND. There's a lot more free running.
Yeah,
areas.
exactly. Especially like since the movement has been like buffed like crazy, like people are flying around the map, and it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't work out like with these old maps and this new movement. I don't know, it doesn't work, I don't feel.
But it is definitely exciting here for like being on the fan shell field team. And just out of curiosity from that side though, what like actually kind of brought some of the passion for you to come here to Fanshawe?
That's a good question. I know, I remember back when I was in high school, I was a big Rocket League guy. And big Rocket League guy. And I reached out to Lambton in Sarnia. I messaged their esports coordinator, and I was like, hey, do I have to be a full-time student to play? Like, is it possible for me to play out of high school? All this other stuff. And he reached out to me, and he replied. But then also, like, the reception called me on my cell phone when I was in grade 11. Like asking me if I was still coming to Lambton in the new thing. I was like, oh no, I'm in grade 11. Like I got another year to go. They're like, oh, okay, well if you have any questions, like give us a call and we'll work through it. So that was really exciting. So I think that was my first kind of look at college esports, and then I kind of gave up on Rocket League because that's a really hard game to get good at. And I've always loved COD, so I just switched to that, tried to get better, the best I could be. And when I heard that Fanshawe has a team, I decided to try out as soon as I came to Fanshawe.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a story. Like already at grade 11, you had colleges like calling you up saying like, hey, we want you.
Yeah, literally. I was telling all my friends and my parents and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool.
And how did your parents like actually feel about that?
They were really supportive. And even now, they're still really supportive. They're like telling me to practice more and like, you could go pro, you just got to stick to it and all this. So they're very supportive, and I'm grateful for that.
Oh,
it's awesome.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
It's always great to actually have parents that are going to be behind your back.
Right.
Wherever you're trying to make it.
Especially with something like this, I feel like it could be a bit controversial with kids who just want to play video games for a living, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Because some parents, they might not kind of see it in that type of light.
Yeah.
And it can be hard to sort of actually show them like, hey, like look what's actually happening here.
Yeah.
We can actually make a living off of this. And I gotta ask though, what is your rank though for Rocket League?
Rocket League, at my peak, back when Grand Champ was the highest, I was Grand Champ in season 9, 11, 7. And then when SSL came out, I hit Grand Champ 2 once and Grand Champ 1 more time. So I'm sitting steady at Grand Champ.
Okay. So you can still throw it down with probably a lot of field players here.
Yeah. I was thinking about trying out, but I just felt like it might be too much, like COD and Rocket League. So
yeah, it can be a lot. Like there is a few players, I think, for field that are actually doing something like that, and it does seem like they probably put a lot on their plate.
Yeah, just like I just feel like games and scrims might, not line up right, and I'd have to pick one or the other, and it's kind of hard to do that, right? You got to show up for both.
Yeah, you would, and you would want to try to actually keep like making it and putting the type of focus into it for like each game.
Yeah.
But Call of Duty though, which one was it that actually kind of brought like, yeah, I want to kind of keep playing more competitive Call of Duty?
I'd probably have to say Ooh, that's tough. Because back when I was young. I was like probably 12, 13, playing Call of Duty Ghosts. Finally made a GB account, and I was playing competitive COD there. So I want to say that's where it all started, to play competitive Call of Duty. I didn't really take it seriously though. Like, I was just playing for fun, really. And then I think in Modern Warfare 2019, that's kind of when I wanted to take it more seriously. Because after that game, yeah.
Modern Warfare, yeah. That was a bit of a different change. I think it was a lot more of like the graphics kind of was getting improved onto that.
Yeah, I love that game. Yeah, that was a huge bump, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, was there like any old classic game that like got you into Call of Duty though?
I remember when I was younger, I used to play World at War on the Wii though. On the Wii, yeah. That's probably actually the first COD I've ever played was World at War on the Wii.
Oh, so, yeah. Was it with like the old like Wii? Like...
Not even. I was just freehanded that.
Oh my god! I
just freehanded it with the little remote.
Wii remote and the nunchuck.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, those are the days.
Right? So simple. That's so fun. Yeah, wow. Missed that.
Yeah, that's when they like embarked on their whole Call of Duty zombies and everything.
Oh yeah, I love zombies, man. It's fun.
So much has changed from there. But are you liking how they are kind of making the competitive style for Call of Duty?
I like the direction that they've been going towards. I like the movement. I just think that bringing back the old maps was not a good idea. Like, it's too ratty. Like, all people do is hold headies and stuff, and it kind of just limits like how much things can happen throughout a match. You know, because if people are all just holding headies, like, it's just going to be really standoffish. It's going to be harder to make plays. Like, and that's technically, like, obviously that's the goal, is to make it harder to make plays. But I don't know. I feel like, and I could be biased too, because I'm a sub player. So, you know, I like running around, and I like being really aggressive and trying to stay alive in enemy lines. But that's just my take.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it makes sense though from speaking to the sub players. Like, yeah, like the smaller maps makes more sense to run around, including slide canceling and all that too.
Yeah,
and it must be tough because like you're still trying to like balance on doing schoolwork and actually practicing too, right?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Speaking of the school though, what program are you in?
Police Foundations. First year. Yeah.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about going into, what actually made you want to do that actually?
This might be generic, but I like helping people, you know. I like helping people. I want to be able to do something in my career that could maybe make a difference to other people around me, you know what I mean? Not to get too sentimental, but you know, honestly,
that's a great way to actually look at it. Because you know, definitely, if you think about it back a few years, like police probably was not getting the good reputation that it should have been. And honestly, it's kind of great, like, to see that someone actually wants to stand up and make a strong impact out there for all the police.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I hear that answer a lot in my program. Like, a lot of kids kind of have the same goal as me. That's why I say it's generic, but you got to have those people there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there anyone like in your family that actually was in police?
Nope. Nope. I do have some family in law, like they're lawyers and stuff, but no cops that I'm aware of.
Oh, so that's pretty neat, though, that they probably will give you like some neat advice here or there for some of the laws.
Yeah.
Especially having that type of close family into it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And
I think so. Yeah.
Parents were pretty supportive on that side too.
Yeah. Yeah. My parents are the best. Like, they're always supportive. Like, yeah, I love them a lot. They're always supportive of whatever I do.
No.
Yeah.
And the other thing, and this was this is kind of going off topic from like just education itself, but it was an interesting tweet that got to bring up Potsy onto this one. Shout out to Potsy for this. That he actually made an interesting tweet lately about that a lot of Call of Duty players, if it can be kind of a hard thing for them if they're only going to revolve like their life around just playing Call of Duty and don't take a step away from it. So actually, like, hearing it from yourself of how you feel about that, of like taking a step away, like what are some things you kind of do to get away from it?
Yeah. Mainly, if I'm not playing video games, then I'm watching movies with my girlfriend, or hanging out with my mom or my dad, hanging out with friends, go to some parties, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, stuff like that. Any college kid.
Of course. And I mean, like, how do you feel actually like keeping that type of balance, like of going and like going to a few parties or actually going to hang out with your girlfriend? Like, does she ever kind of, I don't know, maybe she's just like, you're playing too much Call of Duty.
Yeah, definitely do. Yeah, man, I'm trying to balance that one out still. But we're making do.
Do you feel though like it actually kind of improves on the way you play out there when you do step away from the game?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I feel like if you do anything too much, you could just, for me anyways, I could end up overthinking it and try to look at everything that I could possibly do and then end up not doing much of anything. You know what I mean? So I think stepping away and then just kind of letting yourself react to what's happening is probably the best way to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean on that, because it kind of probably helps you then with like the type of mindset out there.
Yeah, and you trust yourself better, and when you have that confidence, it definitely helps out. So
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Last couple questions, of course, finalizing on some things for this the rest of the season for this Call of Duty team. What are some areas you're hoping to improve on with the team?
Trying to do it. Cap says, you know, try to play back a little bit more, have an angle, be present on the hill and help out that way instead of going rogue and just being a smarter COD player, you know. Kind of, I guess, sticking to the fundamentals of the game, like holding headies and trying to rip people down when they push you. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, is there like any team out there that you guys are kind of feeling a little bit of a vengeance from?
I don't think so. I feel like, no, we've never been really bitter after a defeat. You know what I mean? Like, at the other team anyways, like obviously might be a little bit frustrated within ourselves maybe at most, but we're not really bitter towards any other team. No vengeance, at least for me. I don't know about the other guys, but you know.
Bonk might be saying other things.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But he's been in here longer than I have, right? So he knows the teams. He knows the people on the team. So maybe it just hits a little bit different for him.
And like, actually thinking about that, like, how does it feel actually kind of getting a little bit of guidance from Bonk, and maybe it's just some actual wise words from him since he has been experienced like this?
It's awesome. I like it. Whenever I mess up or like I make a bad play, when he tells me about it, I kind of get to step back and look at it from a different perspective. Whereas me, like I could be reckless. You know what I mean? I'm just doing what I do, and then I'm not really trying to think too much about how else I could help out the team. I'm just trying to kill the other team. You know what I mean? And he's been teaching me to kind of step back, you know, play together, and basically not throw away lives like if I don't have to. And that's really helped me out become a smarter player, I feel. Yeah. Even like even if I do go rogue, like him telling me and giving me tips on how to play my life better, it will help me go rogue and go off and kill a bunch of people too, because then I won't be as reckless and I can kind of take my shots and kills as they come, you know? I get to pick and choose like what's a smart gunfight to take and what's not.
Yeah.
So.
And it seems like that will just come a lot more over time on reading plays and knowing areas where it's like, oh, maybe I should hold back a little bit more on that. And hey, I mean, sometimes it's not bad to go rogue, because you kind of popped off a few times when you went out and just was like, hey, I'm just going to eliminate these guys. I know what to do.
Yeah, that's where I'm most comfortable, is out there. But, you know, Bonk's right. Gotta play smarter, especially on the step up, like from ACAD to T1, like they know how to deal with that. So, and they do.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, from coming just from academy to now here on the main team, that's a huge stepping stone, and pretty big to kind of think about it just from over just one single season to do that.
Yeah.
So congrats on that.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And got just final question here. Since you do play video games and you love video games, we all love video games here. Yeah. Your all-time kind of favorite video game. It can be any range. I love asking this question.
Oh, that's so tough. Ah, man, I might have a tie, you know.
That's okay.
Halo is probably number one. Like, I love Halo. That's the first person shooter I've ever played was Halo. Yeah, me and my dad used to play that all the time, and even my mom, like we all used to play that. We all used to play Halo on the original Xbox, and so that's probably number one for me, just for more of a sentimental reason. Then second, I'd probably say COD. I love COD. I've had lots of fun with my friends on COD over the years, and it used to be like the number one first-person shooter for so long, you know what I mean? So I feel like that kind of contributed to how much I love the game. Like, it was so famous. Everybody played it. You just have fun with your friends on COD.
Oh,
so, yeah.
That's nice. A nice little sentimental piece onto it.
Right.
Just remembered on this one, and I got to know, because, you know, I remember seeing your name, your gamer tag, and I'm like, this is such a unique name. How'd you come up with it? How's Shenanigans?
Yeah, so the owl part of it, me and my friends made a clan back in grade 6 called the Larcity, and that's where the AL comes from. And then I literally just looked up cool English words, and then I saw Shenanigan. I was like, "Oh, Shenanigan, that sounds pretty sweet, actually. I like that, Shenanigan."
No way.
Yeah, that's how I got my name.
Just collaborated the two.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, thank you, Al Shenanigans, for coming on to this, and well, hope your rest of the season goes great for Call of Duty as well.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that.
And thank you, and we will be heading back to the field report.